Welcome to How We Heard It, the podcast about music, pop culture, movies, and more, with your hosts Wayne Bledsoe and Chuck Campbell.
Mora, Zimbabwe. This is Chuck Campbell with
Wayne Bledsoe, and
I'm John Baker.
that is hello to Zimbabwe in their primary language of Shona. We've had a few listeners from Zimbabwe, so this isn't a new country joining us. But this country, it's pretty cool. It's like 17 million people in southern Africa. They border Botswana and Zambia and Mozambique and South Africa. And we're glad to have them listen to us.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
yeah,
There you go.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. And John, you came up with this subject, which I took to be songs about memory. Or is it
Yeah.
song? Okay. Pretty straightforward,
yeah.
I think.
There's a lot of them.
Oh,
There's
a lot of
so
choices.
well. I mean, if you step all the way back, most songs are about memory. But it's not specifically, memory related. So
right.
for me, I tied down just looking over lyrics and everything, and it's like, well, what songs are specifically using memory and talking about memory rather than just, reminiscing songs that really aren't. You know what I mean? It's like it's not just a song that's someone's memory because that's everything. So
Right.
I try to make it a little more
Yeah.
lyrically pertinent, the fact that it's memory and talking about memory and how they're handling memory.
Well, that's kind of what I did. I broke it down to the specific.
You sure did. You have like
subjects.
12 categories.
Well, that's a big topic.
It is a big topic, yeah.
And it was funny because, I always try to do a search on my hard drive, which I don't have all my CDs and digitized, but I still came up with like 2 full pages with just the word memory or remember.
Yeah.
I've got pages of both of those, but a lot of them, even though they have memory or remember in the title, that's not really what they're about.
No, they're not. That's not it. I wanted something more concrete than that, than just,
Yeah. So I like tossed out like a song by Dave Loggins called "Please Remember Me,"
Right.
which is like that's
whatever. Right?
yeah. That's not really about a memory,
Yeah, it's not about memories. It's about the act of remembering.
right? But I did put in some things.
I've got
about
some remember.
remembrances.
Yeah. I've got some of that too.
Yeah. So
Or just the spin on it.
yeah.
We probably should just start talking about it.
all right. All right.
So, and I've got a lot of classic songs, and
Mm-hmm.
just to describe how they're using memory.
Right.
I'll start.
Go ahead.
Okay. 1969. I wanted to start because it's a
Wow.
60s song.
1969.
A 60s song, yes.
Tectonic plate shift.
Yes.
I know it's crazy.
It's Peggy Lee's Is That All There Is?
I thought you'd bring that one up. I
Yeah,
love that
of
song.
course. It's an existential emptiness is what this song is searching for. And it sounds like just like a club song or whatever, but she's going through various scenarios growing up through life.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets to the end of each scenario, like she goes to the circus and there's a fire and she falls in love. And at the end of each vignette, she says, is that all there is to the circus? Is that all there is to fire? Is that all there is? And then she goes, if that's all there is, let's break out the booze and have a ball. And then it has this really even darker point where she goes, I know what you're thinking. If this is how I feel, why don't I just end it all? And she goes, well, I'm not ready for that final disappointment.
Yeah.
And it's just so interesting because it's
yeah.
a heavy song, It really is like, this is all there is,
And to be a hit. And it's really, she sings the chorus, but the rest is a recitation.
It's spoken, yeah.
Yeah, and the guy who orchestrated it and played piano was Randy Newman.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did he write it?
No, he didn't write it. I can't remember who wrote it. There's this. It's like an old, classic pop songwriter who wrote it. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah. I remember when it came out when I was a kid. I was 9 when it came out, and it was like you're listening to that, that
Is that all there is?
kind of a happy sounding
Yeah,
chorus.
it sounds happy.
It's got a banjo on it.
Yeah.
It's like
Gentle beat, rhythm.
yeah, but yeah, that's just a devastating song.
It is.
And I think it's her last hit. She didn't.
Fever was before that.
Oh yeah, Fever's from the
Okay.
50s.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, the
know
60s
her
is-
discography really.
She didn't have that. She didn't have a whole lot in the 60s.
Is that all there is to Peggy Lee's career?
Well, Peggy Lee's an interesting character. She invented some things, and she's really, really smart. And
It was written by Lieber and Stoller.
Was it Lieber? I knew it was one of the classics. But yeah.
Okay.
But Peggy Lee was. I've heard she was difficult, but she did write some songs.
I saw a great, I think it was Debbie Harry and Billie Eilish doing the song together live.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I know. But I thought that those two are just the right combination to, portray that song. It was just a live thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
I got plenty more classics. I'm sure you got a category you want to start, or what about you, John? It's your category.
Well, if we're talking ancient history, I just got to give a shout out to Bob Leggett, my father-in-law, because I hit him up, and the first thing he came up with was Moments to Remember by the Mad Lads.
Interesting. Yeah, I remember
I'd
that.
never even heard it.
When was
I
this?
hadn't thought about that
They're
one.
Canadian,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's from the 50s, I think.
Okay.
Well, if just to get out the oldest things I have here,
Oh, boy.
I didn't go as far back as, I didn't go back into the things from the 20s and the teens. But Memories Are Made of This, which Dean Martin had a hit with, and that one still hangs around.
Okay.
And then Thanks for the Memories, which is known by Bob Hope. That was his theme song.
Okay.
Yep, I remember that one.
Yeah, and I mean, people don't remember it now, but that's exactly it.
I know that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
That was
those
Bob
are,
Hope?
Thanks
Those Bob Hope.
for the
Okay.
memories.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Well, Bob
We need
Hope,
cocktails.
well, he didn't sing that much, but I mean, he sang in those road movies and
Right.
stuff like that. And that was like every time he would be on something, they would play that in the background.
Okay.
Because that was his theme song.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to do Fire and Rain, James Taylor from 1970. So I'm still way back.
This is amazing.
This one is partly inspired by the suicide death of his friend Suzanne, who was a childhood friend of his. So that's the first verse, where he's
Right.
talking about. And then he goes into more personal other things that have happened to him and everything. And it's very, bittersweet way that he did songs and the way that he sings. And he just has that gut punch too when he's talking about Suzanne, because when you lose somebody and you just realize, like he says, what do you say? I always thought that I'd see you again, or I always thought I'd see you again one more time, and you just don't get that opportunity. Just poof, and you don't see somebody again.
I always thought it was about a plane crash because he says sweet dreams and
Yeah, he talks about
Flying machines.
Yeah.
Pieces on the ground.
ground. It's like,
Yeah, I think there's supposedly some reference to his own heroin addiction or something like that in it. But the first verse, which I guess inspired everything, was about Suzanne.
Yeah, just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't think of that, because I was saying there's got to be some good memory songs among the 70s songwriters, singer-songwriters. And I even brought up, what about James Taylor? Surely he's got one.
Yeah.
But see, I'm not doing any research. All of mine just come off the top of my head.
Okay.
Because Leslie started looking up stuff on her phone, and I'm like, that's cheating. I mean, she was bringing up songs that she didn't even know.
Right.
And I'm like, well, you can't do that. I mean, you
I
gotta.
don't think I do that too, but I mean, it's rare that I actually get one that comes up in a search, but it always goes, oh, wait, I don't know a better song than that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess for me, it's just a point of, I just want to, what do I think of?
Right.
Well, the one that I came up with because I did that search, and then it was like, wait a minute, this is not the way I remember this song. But Johnny Thunder's song, You Can't Put Your Arms Around a Memory, which is it's a great title, which is similar to a Jeannie C. Riley song called You Can't Wrap Your Arms Around a Memory.
Okay.
But I got it by, Michael Fracassa. And he's somebody I had totally forgotten about. It's just a couple of years that he came out. I mean, that I heard this song. But he does a terrific version of that. He's an Austin singer-songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
And, Johnny Thunders is still kind of punky sounding, and this just does it in kind of a slightly country
What's
way.
the plot of the song? I mean,
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's a past love that's not there.
yeah.
And, you can't put your arms around a memory. It's like, but, who's not been there?
Right. Right. Well, a lot of the artists I'm going to talk about, I mean, a lot of these are, relationship oriented, but I found some that just really aren't, and have kind of their own story.
Well, I've got a ton. I mean, it's like I've got childhood, teenage,
No.
Yeah. Memories of romances, personal remembrance, and just some that are just plain sad.
Yeah. Oh, I've got some of those too. I mean, I think Fire and Rain's pretty sad. And
It is very sad.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm going to get Barbara Streisand out of the way
Oh,
we
please
were.
do.
We all three make fun of her all the time, but she has millions of fans who were rewarded by this song. She did it for The Way We Were with Robert Redford movie that she made. It does have good lines, so, you know.
And who wrote that, I wonder?
Oh, I don't know.
I
don't know.
think
I know
that's
some of the ones. But she's got memories may be beautiful, and yet what's too painful to remember, we simply don't forget. So it's kind of like it's got that kind of tinge. You know, hats off to Barbara Streisand and all of her fans. And she did a good job with that.
John's looking up the writer. I'm thinking it was Carol Bayer Sager or one of those folks.
Alan Bergman, Marilyn Bergman,
Oh,
and
the
Marvin
Bergmans.
Hamlish.
Okay, there we go.
Ah, the Bergmans and Hamlishes.
There we go.
That's who we named our
That
kitty
sounds like
after.
a sandwich.
No, actually, we named our kitty after Marvin Gaye, but it could be Marvin Hamlish or Marvelyn Hagler.
Well, while we're talking about memory songs that I really don't like,
Oh, okay.
Old Days by Chicago. I've never liked that one. And that's all about memories.
I've never really given Chicago much of a chance.
I don't know if I remember that one. I might know the...
Old
That-
days, good times, I remember. And then it's the lyrics are kind of insipid. That's why
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
you
like
turned
it.
it off by that.
Yeah, you probably did.
I mean, I like some Chicago songs, mind you. but-
Yeah.
Is that a Peter Cetera song?
Yeah, he probably did the vocals, but this was before he became the dominant force. This was
Man, I hate his songs.
you see, I actually kind of liked some of them. I mean, I liked Chicago better before he became like it's all ballads with Peter Cetera singing. But
Well, it's like Journey with Jonathan, whatever his name is, writing all the songs. They just got gloppy.
well,
They were already kind of gloppy.
they were already gloppy. I can't stand Journey.
Well, all right. No accounting for taste.
Do you like Journey?
Some of the early stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Because it's tied to memories.
Okay. Well,
When I was a senior in high school, Journey was the bomb.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
the bomb for me too, but it
But,
was a stink bomb.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was 17 years old.
Well, I mean, I'm the same way. They've got stuff that
There's stuff that, you know, you liked when you're 17 that you look back on and kind of cringe a little bit. But
yeah.
Yeah. I've got another one because I don't think you all are going to believe. I really like this song. It was played to death, but I just think it was masterfully done.
Uh-huh.
And that's Bob Seger's Night Moves from 1976.
You know, this is here.
We've heard it to death
I
a million
know.
times.
This is where I'm with John, where it's like I like the early stuff better than, but he gets to that point, he hits the peak, and I got so incredibly sick of him with that album.
Okay. I don't even know the album. You know,
Night
I don't
Moves.
I think
speak
it's Night
albums.
Moves.
I know this song. I know this song. I don't even know. He did some Ford truck commercial. That was an old song
like
of his,
a
but
rock.
I don't
well,
know
that
much
made
more.
him a millionaire, I'm sure.
But
Oh, he
this
was
song,
arguing.
if you break it down, this song, the content is awesome because it's not really about a love. You know, it was about sexual adventures of these two teenagers.
Yeah.
But I love the way he sings it. He's very convincing. I feel like it's kind of emotional, and it's like wishing you were young again and all of that. And the backing vocals too bring like an emotional punch to it. And I love the part where he gets where the whole song kind of stops and he's just talking through it. And it's just, I don't know. I just like, you really feel it. You feel it's there. And you know, they weren't in love, no far from it. He was saying that, but he also said that she was a black-haired beauty with big dark eyes, you know, and it's kind of like, it's not so much about her that he's missing. It's just that time in his life. And
I like the strummy acoustic guitar.
yeah, I like the guitar in it. I like his voice and the what he goes through, and I love the backing vocals. And I just think this song was, even though I've heard it 14 million times, it was just really well produced and well delivered, well written.
Well,
you
the
know.
first 25,000 times I heard it, I probably liked it.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
did get tired of it real quick.
You probably heard it a lot more. I didn't listen to classic rock, so I wasn't hearing it like
Well,
you
see,
were.
I think that came out in 75.
76.
76. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was 16 when that came out.
Okay.
And so I was always in my car. The radio or the 8-track player was always running.
Right.
And, you know, and I liked his album.
Really had one of
Beautiful.
those.
Yeah, I did. Beautiful Loser came out a couple albums before that, which I was like, oh, man, this is great. And then it got to Night Moves. Like, oh, this is great. boy, I sure am sick of this. It's like, I don't need to hear any more Bob Seger for a
See,
long
if you were
time.
sailing through life not listening to albums and not listening to classic rock, you never had this song beat out of you, you know?
Well, there's a song by Scott Miller called Citation
Yeah.
that is very similar in theme because it's like, you know, Bart is Buddy's Chevy Citation and he picks up his girlfriend and it's, you know, especially for like a Americana kind of song, it's pretty explicit.
Yeah. Yeah, this one wasn't, you know, we don't want to get into that, but
No.
it was a 60s Chevy. It was a 60s Chevy that he
Right.
was in. I think he said it was 62
But on
when
this,
they got together.
and then on the same theme, Paradise by the Dashboard Light by Meatloaf,
Yeah.
which the same kind of thing.
Yeah. It didn't have the emotional impact, though, that Night Moves. I don't know why, but I thought that was just a
Yeah, Paradise.
5-star song for me.
Well, Paradise. I mean, I like Paradise by the Dashboard Light better.
It's a lot more fun,
It's
for
more-
sure.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
It's almost like a performance art piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like a little mini opera.
Yeah.
I mean, but I really like, you know, some of these, like, everybody goes back to their teenage memories because they have so many firsts, you know, like first
Right.
learning how to make out and, you know, all that stuff. Maybe
Right.
first time having sex, maybe
Right.
first time, you know, just getting out in a car.
Right.
You know, Phil Oakes has a great song called My Kingdom for a Car, and it's just about how much fun it is to be able to drive your own car.
Oh, that's so liberating, too.
Yeah.
I mean, just having to rely on everyone else for your rides your whole life, and all of a sudden you can get in a car and just go wherever you want to go.
Yeah, freedom. That's what amazes
That's the
me.
kind of freedom that, you know, you don't get a taste of that any other time.
And it amazes me now that teenagers now don't even want to drive.
Well, some of them don't.
Yeah.
Some of them are in front of me in traffic texting when the light turns green. But that's it.
Well, it's funny. My oldest didn't. He didn't get his license until he was like 17 because he didn't want to. My daughter, man, she wanted it as soon as she could get it.
Just like Lauren again.
Me too.
Yeah,
Oh, me too.
It was my 16th birthday,
Uh-huh.
you know, and it's like, did it, got it,
Yeah.
free.
Oh, yeah. I was the day of.
I'm out of here.
I got my
Yeah.
learner's permit the day I turned 15,
Yeah.
and then got
Yeah.
my driver's license the day
Yeah.
I turned 16.
Well, while we're on the teenage theme,
Okay.
let me throw out a few that Amy Ray from the Indigo Girls has a great song called Driver Education.
I think I know that.
It's just this really cool upbeat song, and it's, you know, talking about them coming and giving the driver's education class, and it's, you know, she's using it as a metaphor for,
Yep.
you know, all the things about other things about growing up.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was the thing, driver education class. I mean, who
Do you remember that? I took it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Who doesn't have a memory from that?
You had your driver. We had driving partners at Maryville, so the two of us would go out with the teacher 2 at a time.
Uh-huh.
And I remember one time I came to a complete stop for a right turn, and I thought he was a coach because they're always coaches.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to blow up because you don't stop when you're turning right. I was like, "Oh." He said, I wish I had an accelerate thing because, they have their brakes.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't have any. So I just
Oh, my son Andrew stopped in the middle of the road when I was teaching him how to drive.
Yeah.
It was like
yeah.
in a cross section. It was like, go, 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 the gas.
I never took driver's ed, but my dad taught me. And my dad, I was always scared to death of him. He had bad temper. Oh man, it was bad.
Yeah.
The good thing was he bought me a go-kart when I was younger, and I learned how to handle. I mean, I could
Yeah.
slide on it and
Yeah.
do all kinds of stuff. So I already kind of knew how to drive.
Oh, my mom was teaching me how to drive when I was 11. It's like, just get this kid out of the house somehow.
First time I ever drove was unauthorized, and I was in my dad's car at his house on the air base. And all I did is I started it up, and I put it in reverse and backed out of the driveway and across the field and almost to a pool that was down the thing. It was just like, and I thought, I don't know how to drive. I don't know how to get this back up the driveway, And I finally just figured it out. So he wasn't home, so I just did it.
I gotta say something real quick. My friend Aaron Kimona from the Nashville band, the Carmonas, he had the best story. It's like a John Hughes movie about how he stole his parents' car to impress his girl or a girl,
Right.
and he gets his parents call the cops,
Oh, no.
and he pulls back in, and
That'll impress her.
the cops are on top of him. He said, I told the cop, he said, yeah, I'm a fat kid, and, nobody looks at me, and I was just doing this to impress a girl. And he just, like, gave this explanation. And he said, by the time they got in, the cop was on his side.
Oh.
And the cop goes in and tries to calm his dad down. And his dad won't calm down. His dad still punishes the hell out of him.
I'd been that cop. I'd been like, I feel like I'm on a date with you or something.
It was so funny, though, hear him tell about, I'm a fat kid, and, I can't impress anybody. But he's a great songwriter now.
My last 70s song, I've got two songs that are called Deja Vu, and one of them is by Dionne Warwick.
Okay.
And the whole idea of this, in 1979, Deja Vu, of course, we know what that is. That's
right.
From the French term, already seen. And it's about just feeling like you've been here before. You think you're having a memory, but you're living it in real time. And it's an odd feeling, and she does it with a relationship, and she's like cautious and kind of sort of joyful at the same time, but she's just, is it you? I keep remembering me, and I keep remembering you. So she's starting a new relationship that she thinks she's already been through with somebody else, and she's hopeful that it'll work out.
And what is this song?
Deja Vu by Dionne Warwick.
Okay.
1979. Deja Vu.
I don't remember that one.
Anyway.
Huh. Interesting.
Love me some Dionne Warwick.
All right. Well, I'm still in teenage songs here, real quick.
Well, here's one that's kind of it's not by a teenager, but it's about being teenage, and it's the song 13 by Big Star.
Oh, I love that song.
It's a beautiful song, and it just captures what it was like to be a 13-year-old kid, and he's got a girlfriend, and maybe after school we can hang out by the pool.
Right.
It's a great song.
Yeah, it's super sweet, and that is really a memory song. I mean, it puts you back being that age, and how unsure you were of everything, and
yeah.
Well,
tell your dad what I said about Paint It Black.
Well, Terry Allen, who's this great Texas singer-songwriter and a visual artist too, he's got you would both like this song. It's called "The Great Joe Bob Tragedy," and it's about a high school football star. He's remembering, the high school football star who goes bad.
Okay.
Dates a floozy, and the whole song is just delivered very deadpan.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because it's like, this is the kid that everybody thought was going to be somebody, and he just turns out to be just a jerk.
Yeah.
It does no good. But
that reminds me of of course, Springsteen, 85, Glory Days. Interesting. That's like an anthem. That was from his Born in the USA album, and he was in his mid-30s at the time. And, it's about the baseball player in school who was really great and blah, blah, blah in his baseball years. And then the pretty girl in school that turned every boy's head. Now she's like this mom just trying to catch up on her sleep. And it's kind of cynical, but it's comforting at the same time because it's like, oh, these people talk about their glory days of high school and how great everything was, which has cynicism to it. But then again, you realize that we all do this, and it's just a rite of passage, and it's okay,
No, my take is different. I mean, I think it's very cynical in a way that I appreciate.
Yeah.
Because it's like all these people that if you peaked in high school, all those people peaked in high school.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, so to me, it's like really sad that, and I've only gone to 2 high school reunions.
Right.
And, I mean, I got enough of that.
But the beauty of that, though, is some of the people who are just like dark horses back in school and nobody knew them, and they're like beautiful or handsome and wealthy.
Accomplished.
And they were just nobody in school. And that's the
That is
good
a good
side.
thing about it.
Yeah.
That's one thing about, mostly Facebook, but also social medias in general, that you end up making friends with, becoming friends on the social media with people that you went to high school with or college with. And I end up deleting ending so many friendships because there's people like, that was the best time of our life. And I'm like, no, it wasn't.
No.
It just keeps getting better. I mean, it's like they just...
It's the easiest time of your life. That's what I think graduation cards should say. Congratulations on getting through the easiest phase of your life. Now it all starts in earnest, I mean, as far as that goes. But it's awkward, too, because you're developing. I'm glad there's not a lot of outside pressure on you when you're in school because, like, jobs and stuff like that to worry about.
I did some greeting cards one time, a long time ago, and my favorite one was, congratulations, you're 18. And you open it up and it says, you can now be charged as an adult. It's like, that's what it is.
And by the way, sign up for the draft.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's, I mean, Glory Days, to me, is just like...
Well, it's kind of in keeping with Born in the USA. A lot of people embrace that as like a great, big, patriotic, and it's not at all.
Yeah, you got to listen to the lyrics.
Yeah. And that's just, I mean, I think that whole album, everybody, you know, that's his big arena album where he became just a superstar.
Right.
But it's really sad and depressing when you listen to the lyrics. That's one of the reasons I like the demos better in that regard than I do, you know, the finished product, because it's like, even though I like things that sound happy and are not, that just sounds like, oh, big celebration.
Yeah,
and it's
puff
like,
up your chest.
No, it's
tilt
not.
your head up, yeah. Well, and then another thing about Glory Days, I guess, with the examples that he uses and everything, I feel like there's some sympathy for these people because, you know, he's talking about the woman who's just trying to get sleep now, and she's got 3 kids and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So he's not like, ha, 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 you're not the prettiest one anymore. It's kind of a, you know, you were at one time.
Yeah. That first high school reunion I went to, there was like this cheerleader who had been just gorgeous, and then she was like, she had a voice like this. It sounded like she'd done nothing but smoke cigarettes the entire time that, 10 years.
There's a nasty rumor about, I guess she was our homecoming queen, and she wasn't there, and everybody's like, oh, she just said she didn't have anything to tell us. She didn't have any reason to see us, but everybody's like, I bet she's not pretty now. I bet she's not, you know.
But that's the way it is. I mean, there's songs I've got about, high school reunions that Glory Days was the one that was on top. There's a great one, though. Todd Steed and the Sons of Fear have one called 10 Years, which, goes on about all the things that have changed.
10th year reunion.
Yep.
So you're 28 now, looking back at 18.
Yep, and it's kind of the same sort of thing. It's like, oh, we had a great time. I'm really ready to be done with this now. Go home.
Yeah, I think Leslie, my wife and I started dating our senior year in high school, and we went to the same high school, so our reunions are always the same, and we've been to 2 of them. And both times I've come away with, like, there are people that are like, oh, I really want to have a conversation with you, and they're gone. Yeah. And it's just unrequited. And then there's other people that are like, I don't even want to see that person. And I just always come away more bothered than anything, because I'm just like, I want to talk to some of these people, but I can't.
Yeah, your old classmates you think were spouses of your old classmates because you don't recognize them. You don't remember anything about them.
Who are these old people?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if
everybody's so old.
Happened to you, Chuck, but it always happened to me. It was like people would recognize me because my picture was in the paper every week.
Yeah.
And, they'd come and say, hey, how you doing? I'd be thinking, who the hell is this? I can't,
right.
And it was somebody from high school that you haven't seen since high school.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Well, I just, as an aside and as a little self-promotion, I've just finished writing a song. I was given a topic to write this song for him, and the topic was, like everyone else, Beulah was obsessed. And so I came up with a song called Beulah Don't Care, and she's like everyone else, Beulah was obsessed with the beautiful Annabelle in her high school class. And Annabelle had guys all around her, and she was flawless and effortless, and Beulah was just like clunky shoes and a homemade dress, and just, I could never be that beautiful. And so she decided she's not even going to try. So Beulah don't care about that. And so she applies to her studies and graduates, and years go by, and she graduates from college, and she's turned into this beauty. And Annabelle is at home pregnant with the 3rd child of the high school quarterback. And she sees that article in the paper about Beulah and thinks, wow, I remember her. Now look at her. Yeah. It's like they've reversed roles.
Yeah. And that happens all the time.
All right, we're almost halfway through this, and I am not even 25% of the way through my list.
Me neither.
So I don't know. I'm going to start marking some of these out. Before I forget, I want to mention this Peter Gabriel, I Don't Remember, from 1980.
I love that song.
So that's actually about dissociative amnesia.
Did
you know that?
What?
Dissociative amnesia. So
amnesia.
It's like you've been in a trauma, so you don't remember. That's his line. I don't remember. I don't recall. I don't got no memory of anything at all. And I've been through that. When I was a kid, I was in a pretty bad traffic accident. And then I was also attacked by a dog at another time and ended up in the hospital and all that stuff. And I just have just spotty, tiny little memory of this or that. Never the trauma itself, because it's, again, you disassociate and you don't experience it, and your mind just blocks it out.
Well, it's odd that you have such love for dogs now, too.
Oh, yeah.
You were attacked by a dog, and now you love dogs.
I felt sorry for that dog because, they took it off to test it for rabies. I think they probably killed it or something.
They chopped their heads off.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love dogs more than ever.
Well, Wayne, at some point we're going to have to address the elephant in the room, and that is all of the songs about memories that the Kinks have.
That's true.
There's a bunch of them.
The Village Green Preservation Society album is pretty much all about memories.
Yeah, he's very... So I have Young and Innocent Days. I just love that song.
Great
It is
song.
so beautiful.
Off Arthur.
Yeah, and Thank You for the Days, which Kirsty MacColl does a good cover of it on one of her albums.
Yeah, she does a terrific... I think it's a terrific version. I think it's about as good as Ray's.
And Some Mother's Son
Yeah.
from Arthur as well.
Right.
Talking about two soldiers fighting in a trench, and one of them looks up to see the sun, and the next minute he's dead.
Yeah. And there's I Remember Walter, which is
Yeah.
about the childhood friend that everybody loved and knew. And
Yeah.
he's musing on what might have happened to Walter now.
Yeah, Ray Davis is just a very reflective kind of songwriter.
Yeah. And he also has songs just called I'll Remember.
Yep.
But yeah, the Kinks, I mean, Ray Davis writes lots of songs about memory. So there, we got the Kinks out of the way then.
All right.
We got it. We got
All
it.
right. Well, and Taylor Swift is the one who does that now. Everything she does. If you've ever met this woman, ever dated this woman, I've just got one Taylor Swift song. I'll talk about it later. I can get her out of the way now.
Well, let's talk about her.
Why care? Yeah. So all of her songs about everyone she's dated, all of her life and all that stuff. She had a song called All Too Well in 2012, and it was about her romance with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay.
And it's very detailed and very long song. And she has a long version that's 10 minutes long. And she was on Saturday Night Live, I believe it was, and did the whole 10-minute song. Now, the interesting thing about it is talking about leaving a scarf behind and this and that and the heartbreak that she felt when, after this whirlwind romance, he just called her and just matter of fact and real blunt, like, give me my stuff or whatever, or something like that. But the interesting thing about that is Jake Gyllenhaal said that wasn't about him and that he hadn't listened to her album and just like trying to separate himself from it as much as he could. And he said, I think she wrote that about her fans. It's like, I don't know that her fans took her scarf and then told her, so just kind of a blackout.
Maybe they could
for Jake
settle
Gyllenhaal.
it with a cage match between Travis Kelce and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think Jake's in trouble there if that
He's
comes
pretty
down
cut,
to it.
though.
No good.
But
Yeah.
then
He's
Travis
not
is a professional
football
athlete.
player. Yeah. I think Travis could probably take him down.
Well, I mean, like I said before, I've talked about Taylor Swift's song "The Best Day," which is the one that made me think, okay, this girl has really got something.
Yeah.
She was still a teenager when she wrote it,
Yeah.
but the memory of her mom picking her up after a bad day at school and taking her out and, just shopping and she's having fun.
She's just great about capturing memories,
Yeah.
all kinds of memories, good, bad, made up,
Yeah.
Fans, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Well, if she and Kelsey ever break up, she'll probably get her best album ever.
Well, they're married now, so we're just going to pretend that can't possibly happen.
I'll tell you, Willie Nelson said, "You ever?"
I
get
think when
writer's
she starts
block?"
having kids, she's going to do take a whole new turn.
what did Willie Nelson say?
Willie Nelson said, "If you ever have writer's block, get a divorce."
Well, I got to give credit to my wife, Leslie. She came up with September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Because the first line in is, do you remember?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good one.
Okay, I got another poignant one, which we have talked about before when we were doing holiday songs, I think it was, or winter songs. That's Dan Fogelberg, Same Old Lang Syne. That's all about memories, about running into an ex in a market, and you have awkward conversation, but then they keep sticking around each other, and then they end up getting a six-pack and drinking it in the car. And he had that great line where the song kind of stops, but, just for a moment I was back in school and felt that old familiar pain, but then they drove off from each other, and the snow turned into rain.
Yeah.
So
many people hate that song, and I've always liked it.
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's a wonderful song.
Yeah, and it's very, very different, but
Yeah.
it shows up on most hated songs lists on a regular
I don't
basis.
understand that. I mean, it's real. It feels real.
Yeah, same.
Similar sentiment is expressed on Still Crazy After All These Years by Paul Simon. I met my old lover on the street last night. She seemed so glad to see me. I just smiled. They go have some drinks and talk about old times.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
The Paul Simon memory song that I put on is "That Was Your Mother" off Graceland, which is really sweet. It's
trying to remember that one. That's not one that jumps out at me.
it's the one with the real Zydeco thing going on.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And he's just talking about, he's talking about a picture, and that was your mother, and he was describing the mom to his kid. It's really sweet.
Yeah. Paul Simon's, what a great songwriter.
Yeah, it's But I like these things. A lot of times they're songs that are prompted by photographs. There's a George Harrison song that Ringo Starr had a hit with called "Photograph," and it's all I got is a photograph.
Who had that?
Ringo Starr had a hit with it, and George wrote it.
Photograph showed up in a lot of songs. I love the Flock of Seagulls song "Wishing" because it's you know, I mean, they came out with Iran, and that's all anyone remembers. Iran so far away, you know that.
Yeah.
But "Wishing" was like a more melodic and sweet and kind of sad because, you know, it's like he's just trying to remember someone that he loved that's not in his life, and it's like if I had a photograph of you or something to remember, I wouldn't spend my life just wishing. So, you know. Yeah, there's a kind of a little depth for a guy with hair that'd been surfed on or something. I don't know what was going on, but
maybe it was about his hairdresser.
Maybe. Yes, I wish I had a photograph of his hair and might comb it down.
Well, it's funny that we were talking about amnesia. It made me think of the John Conley song, "I Don't Remember Loving You." Do you know that song?
No.
It's great. It's the one that made me just like fall in love with this guy's music. And he's got this very specific, very weird kind of voice.
And who is this?
John Conley. But it's a song where this woman has come to visit him, and you find out in the end he's in a mental hospital.
Oh.
And he's going to write down, he said, "I can't quite remember you. I'll write your name down with my crayon."
That sounds better. Phil Collins did that "Take Me Home," which was about being in a mental hospital. But I didn't really care for that one so much.
It's sort of okay.
Yeah.
The John Conley one, I know you would love.
Yeah, that sounds better.
It's so funny. I mean, it's you know, it's meant to. It's not exactly meant to be as funny as I find it.
Yeah.
But it's still, I think, meant to be funny.
Well, I don't think it's even meant to be funny, but we've never talked about the Flirts. And they have the song "Jukebox." Don't put another dime.
I don't remember the Flirts.
Oh, you've got to remember. So it was this song "Jukebox" came out like a few months after MTV kicked off. And the Flirts were these. It was 3 women singers, but they were rearranged. They were put together by a guy named Bobby Orlando. And they're just walking down the street in New York. Surely you remember, "Don't put another dime in the jukebox."
Yeah, that sounds familiar. But
Yeah,
okay.
so and that's 90% of the lyrics. But the funny part, the meta part about this song is it's about a song, a catchy song that irritates them, and they don't want to hear it anymore. And then they end up making that song that's irritating, you don't want to hear anymore. That's about another song. But it's the key line to it is like, "Little things remind me of you, cheap cologne in that damn song too." So
I need to dig that one up.
Yeah.
I'll give credit to my wife for one more, and that is "In Memory of Elizabeth Reed" by the Allman Brothers.
Yeah, well,
it's not really I don't think there are any lyrics.
No,
it's all instrumental. But it does have memory in the name.
Well, that's because they would go out and get stoned and get drunk in the graveyard, and that was the grave that they used to hang out around was Elizabeth Reed. So that's why that's called "In Memory of Elizabeth Reed."
Yeah. Well, there's a great so Jason Isbell back before the last I guess when Ossoff and Warnock got elected in Georgia, he made a pledge that he would record an album of Georgia covers if Georgia went blue. And they did. So he's got an album called Georgia Blue, and he covers all kinds of. He covers an Otis Redding song, but their band covers.
Who had a song? "I've Got Dreams to Remember." But go ahead.
Yeah, but they cover "In Memory of Elizabeth Reed," and man, they do a great job. That's a tough one to cover.
I need to hear that.
It's really worthwhile.
Yeah, it's like 7 minutes long. When the Allman Brothers do it on their album,
and Jason Isbell plays the Duane Allman slide part, and it's just phenomenal.
Oh wow, I need to hear that for sure.
Yeah. So anyway.
All right. You're prompting us, Chuck, so.
I am? Okay. So, Nana, this is a different type of memory because it's a post-apocalyptic song that remembers the war that destroyed the world. So it didn't happen. But this was 1983. They came out with the German 99 Luftballons, which they remade as 99 Red Balloons in English.
Right.
The next year in 1984, so it was a big hit in America then. But the thing about this song is like it's very grim, and she's like a woman telling children about what happened and how. And you have to remember they were in Germany. This was still the Cold War.
Right.
The USSR was still a thing. Germany was still in 2 parts. The Berlin Wall was still up. So it was more conceivable, and especially in a country like Germany, surrounded by so many other countries they've been at war with or partnered with in war, like France and Poland and Italy, all these around Britain. But the German version, the English translation of the German version is not as exact as the English version.
Yeah.
And it's actually better. It reads as a better story. The English is a little clunky, but it's just about how these balloons were released as a festivity type thing, and then they were just spotted on radar or whatever, and everybody thought they were being bombed, these different countries. So they just wiped out the world, and the city's in ruins or the country's in ruins. So, so that's remembering something that didn't happen.
I've got a song similar. It's an XTC song called "This World Over," and it's from the Big Express, and he's talking about the reason when you ask God why he murdered everything upon the world, or why we murdered every living thing on the world, we can stand right up and say we did it in his name.
Yeah.
And there's also a song on there called "I Remember the Sun," which is also it's a Colin Moulding song.
Okay. Kind of in pairing up with that is the Cranberries' "Zombie." This is also, it remembers, it's about the history of Ireland trying to rebel against the British rule.
Right.
And there was a bomb that was as recent as, 96 or something? 93. Yeah, the song came out in 94. It was about the British setting off a bomb that killed children. And Dolores O'Riordan, she's the lead singer, and she wrote this song. And it was about the exasperation. She goes, it's the same old thing since 1916 that this had been going on.
It's
which
the Troubles.
That was the Easter Rising.
Isn't that the Troubles in Northern Ireland?
Yeah. So, so it's just like she's flashing back to this thing that started in 1916, and here it's 1993, and it's still going on. Yeah. And she's just got that yowling and everything, real dramatic vocal delivery on "Zombie."
Yeah, she did a great job. I mean, they were a great band anyway, but she did a great job on that.
She did.
Wayne, you got any Beatles songs?
Well, the Beatles song that I picked out is "In My Life." I mean, "Strawberry Fields Forever" and "Penny Lane" are both songs about memory.
Yeah, I've got both of those, but I think the thing to note about "Penny Lane" and "Strawberry Fields" is that's the first double A-side single. I'm pretty sure. Because what record companies would do is the band would have a single, and they would put the single on the A side, and then they'd put like some like a live something or something that they weren't going to put on an album just so they could have something to put on the B side. But the Beatles put two singles on either side of, and neither was the B side. They were both A sides.
I don't know for sure, but that's probably right.
I mean, Beatles were known for breaking precedents.
Yeah, but both of them. I mean, let's see. John did a memory song, and Paul did a memory song, and turned out great. "In My Life" is the one I think that is the most kind of, specifically talking about memories. Mm-hmm. And it's, it's been covered by everybody. Emmylou Harris does a great job on it. She's got a great version. But, I think that's, one of Lennon's, maybe Lennon's one of his very best songs.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah. But they've got quite a few songs about memories, but those are the ones that stood out for me.
Well, I got one that's sort of a urban legend, and it's portrayed in this song by the Drive-By Truckers called "Days of Graduation."
Yeah.
And it talks about, he and his friend tear-assing around the country at night in their car on country roads, and then ultimately they have a crash, and they say that when the ambulance arrives, they can still hear Freebird playing on the stereo. And the end of the song, he says, it's a very, very long song.
Yeah.
But that's such an urban legend about people crashing. And
well, it's not exactly an urban legend. It's like every year it seemed like somebody
did
that. From the graduating
happened.
class. And in Powell, it would be 2. It was, where my kids went to school, it was always terrible. Well, you mentioned at some point the word reminiscing, which reminded me of the Little River Band song.
I love that song.
I do too. And I don't have guilty pleasures.
Very yacht rock, but
it is.
It's fine.
But, I thought the Little River Band were a great pop group. And, that song is actually like when my late wife and I were first getting together. That's the first kind of bonding song we had that we both liked.
What does that mean?
Well, that just means that it's like we both liked it.
Okay.
Became your song.
Then we went to a concert. The Little River Band came to town, and we further bonded because, back then, everybody was stoned and drunk and just, stupid at
mess,
concerts.
yeah.
It was terrible. And this one girl that was being led around everywhere, she sat right behind me and Ruth, and she started puking, and I had to pull her hair up before she got puke all over her hair. But, yeah, it's a nice
That's
memory.
love.
So charming.
That's love. You protect
you-
your
did
wife's
you-
hair from puke.
Did you save her hair, or did you keep
I
the
saved
puke
it.
from? Okay.
She didn't get any puke, and this
That's
was a
awesome.
lot of puke.
She knew you were her man then. I'm going to be with this guy forever.
Weren't they from Australia?
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
now
love that song.
they're based in Tennessee, and none of them are from Australia.
Really?
Yes, but
They
somebody,
still have the name, but there's no original members?
and the original members cannot use the name
God.
in any promotions.
I like the vaguely threatening Breakfast Club. Don't you forget about me. That's a different spin on memory, because everyone's about trying to remember. And they're like, don't you forget about me. That was from the Breakfast Club, of course, in 85.
I remember that. And that had a real, I don't know what, the drum sounds on that.
Yeah.
Was Steve Lillywhite involved in that somehow? Because it's like he's the one that invented the whole gigantic gated snare drum reverb sound that
It's
so
very much
many
an
bands in
event
the
song.
80s
Yeah.
did.
It starts with, hey, 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 hey.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm surprised you guys haven't mentioned, but Veronica by Elvis Costello
Oh, yeah.
from 1989.
I love that record.
I
whole
love
record is
that
great.
song. He wrote it with Paul McCartney,
Right.
and it's about his grandmother, or it's inspired by his grandmother, I guess, who had Alzheimer's.
Right.
And it's all it's his biggest mainstream hit, So I think it was like a top 10 or something like that. It did really well, and it just had really great lines. And it's about his grandmother's failing memory and how she will tune in and out, and sometimes she just sits and stares.
She doesn't even know her name's Veronica. At some
Yeah,
point.
yeah. But I love the. She used to have a carefree mind of her own, and it's like, aw,
Yeah.
So.
Doesn't have it anymore.
Well, on that same subject, Mick Harrison and the High Score have a song called "Things You Remember," which is about his dad having Alzheimer's, and it's like he wakes up and says, "Mom, I got to get ready. Those boys won't wait." And he thinks he's a teenager going to his first job or whatever.
Wow.
And it's just like the chorus is, ain't it funny the things you remember?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll save those memories for you.
Yeah.
It's really sweet. A really good one.
How about The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald?
It's
I
a
guess
memory
history
song.
is memory,
I mean,
yeah.
Did you ever hear the Reader's Digest version of that song?
No.
This is a comedian's bit. But there once was a ship called the Edmund Fitzgerald, and it sank.
Cliff's Notes.
I mean, because the song itself is really long.
Well, since I mentioned somebody local, I wanted to bring up Kevin Abernathy, who writes lots and lots of songs about memory, and he's got a song called "Visiting" about what's like being a kid and visiting your relatives, and it smells like death and old tobacco.
Yeah, sitting on a sofa, crammed in next to relatives.
And then he's got a song called "Las Cruces Sunset" about his first trip out to California, which is, I think, it's absolutely a beautiful song.
It's gorgeous.
But he also, the one that really hit me for this is called Moto Kids, which is about kids. I mean, when he was growing up, having mini bikes, and this one friend got killed on his mini bike.
Oh, wow. He's got another one called Beach Music.
Yeah.
Talking about going to the beach with his family.
Yeah.
And there's a line in there that's one of my favorite lyrics of his. He says, "Take a drive down the strip. It's a drag." It's like, that's good wordplay.
Yeah. No, he's really good with wordplay. We've got some such good songwriters.
He's a local Knoxville songwriter and guitarist.
But Moto Kids, man, that is one that's it's like much too young to drive, but old enough to fly. And it really made me think about. I had a mini bike. Do you have a mini bike?
No. I had bikes.
My dad was an orthopedic surgeon. He wouldn't let me have
My dad had a bad motorcycle wreck, so he wouldn't let me have any kind of motorized.
I wanted one really bad. But
I had a Honda 50, and I'd spend half the day cutting down trails in my grandmother's field, and then the rest of the time timing myself on how fast I could drive them.
My dad cut a trail through a cornfield, and that's when he got rid of motorcycles. And no son of his was going to ride a motorcycle.
he didn't
either.
cut a path on purpose.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was a very irregular path.
Yeah. Well, this one brought back a lot of memories for me because he really captured what it was like to be a kid and having a mini bike. And you are too young to drive, and you might get your ass killed.
Mm-hmm. I almost got killed on a skateboard. That was the one thing I had. But that's another story for another day.
How about Shine On You Crazy Diamond by Pink Floyd?
Yeah.
It's about Sid Barrett, the original singer-songwriter for the band that was basically an acid casualty. And he showed up at the sessions when they were recording that album, and they didn't even recognize him.
Yep.
He was bald and fat, and he had been on all kinds of antipsychotic medications.
Oh, boy.
And he was just a wreck. But it's a pretty sad song, really. They said they were all crying when they recorded it.
Yeah, but it's a great song. That's my favorite Pink Floyd album.
I think so. Me too.
Wish you were here.
Well, if we're talking sad memories, nothing's more beautifully grim than an Amy Mann song.
Oh,
and I think 4th of July, I think, is one of my favorite because it's just talking about if she starts with, it's the 4th of July, what a waste of gunpowder and sky, and she's just in this really dark.
She can write some amazing couplets.
Can. And then after she goes through, she goes, so that's today's memory lane with all the pathos and pain. Another chapter in a book where the chapters are endless and they're all about the same. A verse and refrain. So
it's good.
Love me some Amy Mann. And 4th of July, any of her songs, she's kind of a Taylor Swift in a way because she really taps into memories. Although I think a lot of hers is imagined stuff too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she creates characters. Well, one that's real, Randy Newman's song, I Miss You, was written about his first wife. And it's like, the song it's saying, it's a little late, 20 years or so. And he's saying, how much he misses her and, how much he loved her and all this stuff. And it's a really sweet, sad song. And I asked him, well, what did she think about it? Did she hear it? He goes, yeah, she didn't like it.
Well, this is a fake one, which I didn't realize, but it was 2015. It was See You Again by Charlie Puth and Wiz Khalifa. And it was about Paul Walker. So you assume that, because Charlie Puth wrote the song and it's all about, I'll tell you. It's kind of like I miss you and a lot has happened and I'll explain when I see you again. But he didn't know Paul Walker, and he used Paul Walker's death. And I don't want to sound insensitive because it was a really touching song. Mm-hmm. It was really well done.
Who's Paul Walker?
Actor.
The actor from Fast and Furious. He was one who was killed in a car wreck. It's
ironic.
But yeah, he was. So he wasn't a musical type person. But anyway, but he just used that. He lost his own friend, a friend of his own that nobody would know. So somehow it became about Paul Walker when it was really about his friend. And it's like, it's all fine. It's a nice song.
Yeah, well,
it's just kind of weird.
That is weird, but artists, just
yeah,
inspiration.
I looked up, I remembered that song. I thought, well, how did Charlie Puth know Paul Walker? And I looked it up, and it's like, he didn't. It's like, wow, okay.
I'll dig deep into my mom's record collection, but my mom was a real Cat Stevens fan growing up, and he had an album called Is It So? Mm-hmm. That he kind of got into synthesizers, and there's one song on there called Remember the Days of the Old Schoolyard. And I always remember it because at the end of the song, there's a recording of kids playing in a playground in the background, and I always thought that was a real moving sound, just to hear kids playing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That whole song, pretty much that whole album is about memory.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it in a long time. I just remember that song.
It's kind of, he had like one other before he quit making secular music for 30 years or whatever, but that whole album it's a good one, and Back to Earth, the next one, is not so good, but Is It So is a good album.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to bring up just the word souvenir, because my favorite song probably of all time about memories specifically is Souvenirs by John Prine, and he and Steve Goodman used to sing it together, and it's just got such great lines, and it's I hate reading old love letters because they always bring me tears. I can't forgive the way they rob me of my sweetheart's souvenirs. And it's just like, I hate graveyards and old pawn shops, and just all these things that make his memory come back. And it's memories that can't be bought. They can't be won at carnivals for free. It took me years to get those souvenirs, and I don't know how they slipped away from me. But that one's a good one. And then Danny O'Keefe, another one of my favorite songwriters, has a song called Souvenirs that's all about, giving as much of yourself to somebody who loves you as you can, because that's all you got. And then whatever is left is going to be souvenirs.
Huh. You said the Randy Newman song was "I Miss You."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because there were two "Missing Yous" in 1984. I don't know if you remember. You remember John Waite, of course. That's the song
Big hit.
where the chorus is just "Missing you, I ain't missing you," and of course every verse was about how badly he was missing her. And then in '84, at the end of the year, Diana Ross had a song for Marvin Gaye that Lionel Richie wrote and produced, and it was just a really great performance by her. And he was murdered that year, so this came out months after he was murdered, and Lionel wrote it, and Diana sang it, and it's just about. She's just singing about all these things people will never know about you. And again, it's like the other song, it's like James Taylor saying, I always thought I'd see you again, and that's kind of where she's at. Like, suddenly you're not in my world anymore, and people didn't know about the problems with your father and all. Anyway, it was just a real touching song, I thought.
Oh, it's a good one. Well, Bob Dylan has a song called "I'll Remember You" that our friend Mike Flanagan they played at his funeral.
Okay.
And it's really sweet, and it's just about, a very kind of personal thing about what he'll remember about this person. And then Warren Zevon had a song called "Keep Me in Your Heart a While" that he wrote while he was actively dying of lung cancer.
Oh, wow.
And it's a heartbreaker. And it was funny because, they're not funny, but before that album came out, one of his fans died, and his wife called me, and they couldn't get a copy of the song, but someplace had written the lyrics. It hadn't been released yet, and I had an advance. Mm-hmm. So I had to make sure they weren't going to put it out someplace.
Right.
But so they played it. I sent them a recording, and they played it at his funeral.
Wow. I've always wanted to call him Warren Zevon, too.
He's always been Warren Zevon to me.
It's Zevon. It's like I mispronounce it on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But
anyway, go ahead.
Well, it's when he was he did like an entire Letterman show. Letterman dedicated the entire program to him.
Oh wow, I don't remember that.
Oh,
they were friends.
They were really good friends, and it's one of the best hours of television you'll ever see if you can find it. Because he's just that's where he said Letterman was asking him for advice about dying, and he said, "Well, all I can say is enjoy every sandwich."
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got one that just occurred to me, and it's a Joni Mitchell song called "Furry Sings the Blues." It's off of Hejira. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I think it's Hejira.
But it's from 1976, and she's recalling a memory of going to Memphis to visit Furry Lewis, who was a blues singer. Mm-hmm. It was like he had one of his legs was cut off. He had a fake leg, and
one-legged.
Yeah.
Oh.
But he was called Furry, not one leg.
Okay. All furry, one leg.
But there's one of my favorite lyrics in there. She talks about pawn shops glitter like gold tooth caps. They gnaw the last few dollars off of Beale Street's carcass.
Oh,
it's like, man, that is a great lyric.
Yeah, I like that.
I think a lot of people would probably think it'd be remiss if we didn't mention somebody that I used to know about Gautier and Kimbra. That song did really well. It's sort of he quit doing music too after that. It's a strange story.
It is weird.
But the interesting thing about this and use of memory is they're trying to erase each other's memory of each other. So, and it's the heartbreak of just like, we shared all this and you're just completely erasing me from memory. That was out in 2011. He goes, "You didn't have to cut me off, make it like it never happened and that we were nothing, So, again, a different spin on memory and just, shutting it down.
Isn't there another song called "Somebody That I Used to Know"? Or is
I'm
that
sure
the same
there
song?
Is. I think there is. It's not
just
that.
Somebody that I
can
hear
like
it. Is it a replacement song?
No, I don't think so.
She's just somebody that I used to know.
If only we had some way to check.
Looking
looking for the phone person. Oh, we don't have one.
Well, I'm going to go through some kind of quick just about going back to childhood. There's a great song by Jerry Goffin and Carole King called "Going Back" that the Byrds recorded on the Notorious Byrd Brothers, which is my favorite Byrds album. And it's just sweet song about, what it's like thinking back about childhood and how you thought about things when you were a kid. And then there's Greg Brown has this, and you have to get the story, the live version where he tells the story. A song called "Canned Goods" about his grandmother canning things, and it's like, the stuff you buy at the store doesn't have the summer in them anymore because she canned up the summer, and he tells this story about going to visit his grandmother that is
she was canning.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like going out and all the cousins are there, and what it's like being a kid, and man, and it just makes you, it puts you back being a little kid, and it's so sweet. When We Were Young by the band Rabbit that you introduced me to 1,000 years ago, and
I remember that
about growing up in Florida and and it's the circus. That's where they would spend the winters. Yeah. And
St. Petersburg, somewhere near there.
Yeah. But he talks about, what it was like having the circus basically in his backyard.
Yeah.
And it's a really good song. And then a song by Bob McDill that Don Williams recorded called Good Old Boys Like Me, which, man, it gets so many things about growing up in the South, or, and his more in the South, and it's still applied to Appalachia. But, talking about his dad coming in and giving him a kiss, and you could smell the bourbon on his breath, and, talking about, the friends he grew up with, and one of them burning himself out on bourbon and speed. And I could choose. I learned to.
Is this a good memory or?
Well, it's a mixture.
It's all memory, yeah.
But the kid.
That's the way it was,
But he said, but I was something I could choose. I learned to talk like the guy on the 6 o'clock news, and he found his way. But it's a great song. And then Joe South's "Don't It Make You Want to Go Home" is all about what childhood memories and how everything's changed when you go back. So those are all childhood, and of course Dolly Parton. My Tennessee Mountain Home is a great one, and then Cracker Jack about her first dog is a great one too. It's just so sweet and cute, and it's like how much
Coat of Many Colors.
Coat of Many Colors. I mean, I think that's her best song, and God, what a memory. If you don't like that song, you don't have a heart. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're not sorry.
No, I'm not sorry.
You don't have a heart if you don't like this.
I've got one more, and it's "Driving in My Car" by NRBQ. Remember last summer when we had the chance to get together and start making romance? Just driving in the car.
Yeah, I love that one.
Well, I have to follow up with Deja Vu because I promised that I had 2 songs.
Sorry. Okay.
So the second one was from 2021. It was Olivia Rodrigo, and it's so. I love how biting it is because it's set up like a pretty little song, and she's talking about. It's like almost like a little, you're dreaming kind of music and everything. And she's cooing, strawberry ice cream, 1 spoon for 2, and driving to Malibu and wearing each other's jackets and blah, blah, blah. And she's talking about her ex and what he's doing with his new girlfriend. And then she goes, so when you going to tell her that we did that too? She thinks it's special, but it's all reused.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's your same moves you put on me.
Yeah. And so that's a totally different Deja Vu than the Dionne Warwick. And just one that I like because I mentioned, I think last week, that the Did You Have to Love Me Like You Did by the Coconuts is one of my favorite songs. And the crux of the song is the lead singer, she's got a boyfriend who's a great man and loves her, and they care so much for each other. And then she slipped and had a one-night fling with a guy last Friday night. Okay, and she goes, "Oh my God," because it's the best love she ever had, and she can't get it out of her mind. So the memory only goes back to last Friday, but it's like it's so revolutionary because she feels so terrible, and she loves her man, and I can't blame you because it's something we both wanted to do. She's singing to the guy that she had sex with, and she knows it'll never happen again. But I love the beginning line is just, hold on, it's just flown off my page here. Okay, I think, sugar, that you've ruined my life because I keep thinking about Friday night. So, just a memory, short memory, but it's such a great song. She's got such a great voice. I don't have to mention.
I said I had one more, but I do have one more.
What?
Okay.
"I Wish" by Stevie Wonder. I wish those days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that called "I Wish"?
It's called "I Wish."
Oh, okay.
The way he's remembering days.
Yes, I wish those days. Why did those days ever have to go? Why can't we be back in those days?
Yeah, that's got a great chorus.
True that. I don't have any more that I have to do. I can just pass on the rest of these.
Well, let's see. I wanted to bring up the Kate and Anna McGarrigle "Talk to Me of Mendocino," which is a great. If you don't know Kate and Anna McGarrigle, they were a great Canadian sister act who were Kate's the mother of Rufus Wainwright and was married to Loudon, who has also a great song called "The Picture" about him being with his sister. But "Talk to Me, Mendocino" is one of the prettiest songs about kind of coming of age and moving, and it's just you need to hear it. I can't. Okay. I had the lyrics in my head.
I know. I was writing down lyrics for all these songs, and then I couldn't find them. And it's like that was the whole key to everything I was going to talk about. It's like, okay, I'm going to use a lyric for each one of these songs to get an idea, and blew right out of my head.
But that's a terrific one. Yeah, it went out of my head. I can't believe you didn't bring up the Pretenders. I'll Remember You.
There were so many I Will Remember You. There's Madonna had an I Will Remember, and Sarah McLachlan had I Will Remember You, and the Pretenders had. It's like I wasn't looking
too many. I Will Remember.
Yeah, I was like I said, I was looking for something different about it, not just I'll remember you, but you're talking about a war from 100 years ago or something like that, or you made it up.
Well, I wanted to mention this one. It's a great song, but I love the title. It's called "Too Many Memories for One Heart to Hold."
Oh,
yeah, that's a good one.
Stephen Bruton, who is one of my. He didn't release that many albums, but he was a great singer-songwriter. He died from cancer a few years ago. But man, that's a great one. And he has another one called "Every Once in a While," which is the sort of the same thing about I wouldn't recognize the man I was back then if he were standing at my door.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't think I would like the person I used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, my person I used to be used to like Journey.
Well, it's funny, Joe. I got to say, because you go through that phase where you think you're just too cool for everything that you liked when you were a kid, and then you go back and go, "Oh, wait a minute, that was really good. I'm being stupid by not liking it." So, I mean, I don't.
Well, I don't listen to Journey ever anymore. But there are some that I used to think I was embarrassed that I used to like, and now I've come back and think, like Kansas.
Yeah,
there's some great Kansas stuff.
Yeah, well, see, I was the same way with Alice Cooper. I'm just too cool for Alice Cooper, and it's like, no, Alice Cooper, that band was great.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Alice's stuff later was good, but Alice as a band was terrific.
Have you told the story of Alice Cooper's snake on this podcast?
Oh, we've told it. We've told it.
It's a great story.
Yeah. All right, let's do some recommendations.
Okay.
What you got, Wayne?
Well, I'm going to start out with Widow's Bay. I watched.
Oh, you can do movie or TV. Okay.
Oh, you want to go to?
Let's do music first.
Okay. Well,
I got a weird movie. So.
All right. Well, I've recommended Tom Waits before, and I was going to recommend Mule Variations because it has a song called "I'm Going to Take It With Me When I Go," which is one of my favorite songs about memory. It's kind of makes me think of Sarah, actually. But
okay.
But it's really a sweet song. But since
you can still be with someone and remember good times with them,
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually healthy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing about that one is it's like, I'm going to take all these memories with me when I go.
Yeah. That's good. I like that.
Which is, I mean, it's just...
that's the Mule Variations?
Mule Variations. That's the one that's on, which is, I think, his best album of the later period. But I want to recommend Closing Time, which is another memory song. It's called Martha, about a guy who's trying to connect with his high school or sweetheart or early sweetheart.
Now, is the act Closing Time? What's Closing Time?
It's Tom Waits. The album is called Closing Time.
Okay.
It was officially his first
I just
release.
remember Closing Time.
No, that's semi-sonic.
Okay.
Totally different.
Sorry.
Totally different. But he has a song. It's just him on piano, and it's a guy who makes a phone call to his old love. And he's trying to talk about memories, and and then he confesses that he still loves her at the end of it. But really sweet. The whole album, if you're used to Tom Waits sounding, I mean, he still sounds gruff on that album, but it's not
not growly.
Not growly or grating. It's actually very sweet and pretty, the whole thing. This is before he got to talk just like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Closing Time is a
character.
I think it's a good place to start with Tom Waits. Mule Variations is the one that gets all of what he is. Closing Time is where it starts, and you can tell what a melodic...
Do I need to ask why it's called Mule Variations?
You got a song called Get Behind the Mule, but...
Okay.
It's Tom Waits. You don't ask too many questions.
Very poetic.
Yeah, it's also good. I think it's the one's got, what's he building in there? It's like you're hearing all these sounds, and that's all it is this recitation of, what the hell is that in there? What's that guy doing? But anyway, Tom Waits, you can't go wrong.
John?
Yeah, there is a new album just released on July 24th of this year. I don't know when this podcast will air, but it's by one of my favorite English songwriters, Robin Hitchcock. It's called The Confuser, and it's a great return to form. He put out a whole bunch of really great electric pop records in the 90s and early 2000s. He's put he's put out a bunch of really great records, but some of them are more oblique, and you got to kind of dig in. But this is just straight ahead, sunny, but weird. I mean, Robin Hitchcock's got some weird lyrical things that he likes to sing about. All kinds of serpents and feathery creatures, and his mind is its own thing.
People with light bulb heads.
Yeah. Don't look at him, son. Too late. He's already turned you on. No, but it's really good. It's called The Confuser. It's Robin Hitchcock.
And I have an even newer album released July 31st, 2026, by Pedal by Ariana Grande. There's something weird going on. They announced today that she's like stepping back.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so she's had a lot of feedback and blowback about her appearance. She's very thin, and she looks thin. And she's been extremely busy. She was promoting 2 Wicked movies. She had an album out in 2024, and then did a revamped version of it for 2025. And she's been on this world tour that I don't even know if it's over yet. And there's been a lot of speculation, like, why is she like that, and blah, blah, blah. And so she's just kind of sick of that. And so her publicist is officially stepping back. More may come out about this before this show goes up, so I can't go too deep into that. But there is something going on with her in this album, and it's like she's got a lot of anger, and it's kind of focused, but it's vague.
What's the name of the album?
Pedal.
Okay.
And the bigger picture here is there's something going on with music that's been coming out this year, and everybody's kind of dialing back, or a lot of the people that I've been recommending, like Olivia Rodrigo. She's just 23, and her new album is kind of like a more mature album, but it's more subtle and quiet, and doesn't have all that punky energy that she has had in her previous albums. There's some, and it's great, and I think it's part of her growth and everything. But also you had Harry Styles, who he's 32, and he's got like this ambient EDM album that came out this year, which is kind of weird for him. The Madonna dance album that I was looking forward to, follow up to Confessions. Confessions was like her last great album for over 20 years ago. This dance album is like her producer, Stuart Price, does a lot of dance music, and she's just kind of talking in it, like talking bumper stickers or whatever, platitudes. And she does some singing, but it's mostly it's subdued. And then Charlie XCX, I recommended her last week, and she's like talking about giving up on music or dance music, and maybe she's going to do a rock album, but it was really too dialed down to be a rock album. And it's kind of like, why is everyone kind of shrinking? I don't know what. And now Ariana Grande, I can't say that that's naturally, like, she's 33, and she's always been a little chilly and a little more remote than others of her, even from her peers. Like Taylor Swift, of course, puts everything out there. Miley Cyrus is a big, full of character type person, even Selena Gomez. But Ariana Grande's always had like a kind of an icier edge and a little wall around her. But this album is, I recommend it because their vocals are beautiful on it and everything. But it's just a little kind of disquieting how she just seems to be, pulling back, and everybody's pulling back. And I don't know if it's just, I don't know if this is a trend that's happening, or why everyone's, shutting down, or what. I don't know what's going on.
To clarify, is it pedal, P-E-T-A-L?
P-E-T-A-L,
okay,
like
because if
flower.
it's P-E-D-A-L,
no.
I'm more interested.
Right. But the pedal song, it's kind of like a quiet song. But if you want to see what she's going through, you can see the video for that, because they made a video and she like ends up murdering all of these casting guys. Okay. So yeah, it's like, okay, well, that's not what I expected from Ariana Grande. And there are some other good songs on there. She kind of channels this icy vibe, and has really gorgeous vocals on this woozy song called Hate That I Made You Love Me. She's kind of a predator herself, Siren on Never Get Over Me. Beautiful self-harmonies that she's got on a song called Freaks. And there's one song toward the end. It's got a galloping rhythm. It's like, thank you for giving me a little bit of that at least. And it's called Bad Thing Bunny Hop. But she's an enigma, and she's even more of an enigma with this album. But, if you like her, I think you'll still like it. But it's just kind of, and like I say, and just plugging it into the overall picture, it's like, wait a minute. When I was like writing notes for it, I thought, oh, everybody's sounding a little dialed down now. I don't know. And that's not everyone literally, but it's just kind of weird time in music.
I don't know. Maybe just the atmosphere that maybe what's going on in the culture right now.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, I want to recommend Widow's Bay on Apple TV, which is
I want to start watching that.
It's a series. I was a little bit disappointed in the finale episode, and it's interesting because Dale Dickey, who's from here, is nominated for an Emmy for it, and I was kind of surprised because I thought she would have more to do in it. She's great when she's on there. It's really fun, and she kind of elevates things.
Well, who else is in it?
The star kind of is Matthew Rhys, or how do you pronounce his name? R-H-Y-S. Is Riss? Riss? I don't know how you pronounce that.
Rice.
I think it's Rice, but I mean that's what
Zevon. Zevon, like Warren Zevon.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's loaded with character actors, including Dale. It's got Stephen Root.
Oh, okay.
Stephen Root is in. I mean, he's the guy with the stapler in Office Space, and he's just one of the best character actors out there. And a guy named Jeff Hiller, who's always good. And it's a horror comedy. It's kind of equal measures horror and comedy, but it's an island that has secrets. And the Matthew Rhys guy is he's the mayor. And he's trying to get more tourists.
Okay.
But there are bad things about this island.
Okay.
So
I assume it's not just a shark or something.
No, it's all supernatural stuff.
Cool. All right.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
Well, this is all supernatural, and they go back to the 1700s for a couple of episodes.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And it's loads and loads of fun.
All right.
It's just
did you say HBO?
No, it's on Apple.
Apple TV. All right.
But yeah, we finished it Sunday, and you can watch it over a weekend and totally get it. I mean, there's kind of a Stephen King element. There's a little nod to Halloween and some other movies, just a little bit. But it's a lot of fun, and it's actually scary and suspenseful. Sarah screamed a couple times.
Well, okay. That's a plus.
But good dialogue, and the dialogue's not too cute.
Okay.
Which, I hate cute dialogue.
Yeah.
This is just funny and kind of natural, and you get to like the characters. That's the thing. It's got great character development, and to me, that's what makes any good show.
Okay.
What are you laughing about?
I don't know how I'm going to explain mine. Go ahead, John.
All right, I'm going to break precedent and recommend two things because they're both short films. Both of them are from 2013. And the first one I'm going to recommend is called Alone Time, and it's only 13 minutes long. It stars a young actress named Rose Hemingway. I don't know. I'd never heard of her before, but and it's just really interesting storytelling in a short form. It shows her at first at a cocktail party in New York, and it's like in a bar, and she's just by herself, and everybody's talking all around her and laughing, and she's just not having a good time. And then the next scene, it shows her at work, and she works in a cubicle farm in New York City, and she's typing away on her computer, and someone drops a big stack of like 10 inches of files on her desk, and she looks at it and looks up and just, ugh. And then the next scene, and there's no score to it at all. It's all just the sounds of whatever the scene is. And the next scene, it shows her walking up to the subway platform, and I just kept thinking something bad's gonna happen. And a guy walks past her behind her, and he keeps turning around and looking at her, and I'm thinking he's gonna come try and he's either gonna just try and pick her up and make a pass at her, or he's gonna try something, I don't know what. Doesn't happen. She gets on the subway. The next scene, she's in her apartment, and she's in her closet, and something kind of falls off an upper shelf, and it's this big puffy thing. And it turns out it's a sleeping bag. And she picks it up, and she smiles. And then the next scene, she's
You're not going to tell us the end, are you?
I'm not going to tell the end.
Okay.
The next scene, she's on the phone. So I'm not going to be around this weekend. I'm going to go camping. I need some alone time. And then the next scene, she's in her car driving out of the city, and you see the city going by. And then the next scene, all these scenes are little short scenes. The next one, she's like driving by suburbs. And the next one, she's driving by like country houses with mountains behind. And then the next scene, she's on a gravel road, and she parks her car and gets out. Oh, and on the way through the county while she's driving, she stops at a little general store and picks up some food. And she also buys a little disposable camera. And then as she gets to the country, she parks her car and puts on her backpack, and there's some beautiful shots from looking through the woods where she walks across the screen on a trail. You can just see her kind of between the trees and the sun coming down, and the birds are singing, and she's taking pictures all along. Then she gets up onto this rock, and it's up on top of a mountain, and it's a beautiful panoramic shot of the lake with mountains behind it, and she takes a picture there, and then she's setting up camp next to a lake, and then the next scene she's swimming in the lake, and then she's taking pictures of all this stuff, and nothing ever. She just has a great time, but there's a really creepy ending, because at the end,
don't tell us the ending, John.
I'm not going to. You just got to see the end. It's 12 minutes.
Told us the whole thing.
It's 12 minutes of your life. It's beautifully filmed, and the ending is really creepy.
It sounds great.
He kind of hinted to me the ending beforehand, and I do want to see it because it sounds like a great ending.
I walked in on the ending when he was telling it before that. I was like, don't tell the ending.
Okay, and the other one is called The Phone Call, and it said it's on Amazon Prime, and it said in the little blurb that it won an Academy Award for Best Short Film. It's about 20 minutes long. Stars Sally Hawkins and Jim Broadbent.
Oh, good.
Yeah. You never see Jim Broadbent. She walks into her job. And it's kind of a big room with lots of desks, and there's one other person on the other side of the thing, and he's on the phone. He sees her come in, and he waves to her, and she sits down, and the phone rings, and she picks it up, and she says, "Crisis hotline, can I help you?" And so you become aware that she's just like a suicide hotline. And the guy on the other end of the line is Jim Broadbent. And he's a widow who's missing his wife, and his life has just descended into horribleness. And she talks, and the whole movie is her conversation with him.
Oh.
And it's really, really nice.
Huh.
And the end is it's got some redemption to it.
Okay.
So
I like Sally Hawkins a lot anyway.
It's called The Phone Call. Both of them are from 2013.
All right, so I don't know how to explain this movie I saw. I saw it at the theater here in town at our art theater. It's called Her Private Hell, and it's directed by Danish director Nicholas Winding Refn. I don't know him. You're familiar with his work, I think, a little bit there. He did 2011's Drive and 1996's Pusher. But anyway, it stars Sophie Thatcher, who starred in Companion. We both loved her character, and then we liked the movie Companion. She was like the sex bot kind of character. And the movie's called a neon-drenched sci-fi thriller. Now, the plot of the movie is she's an actress, and she's showing up in some city that's embanked in a fog, except the very tops of the buildings, and she's in a high floor on a hotel. So it's got a great setting because you've got... out the windows, you just see like the tops of a few buildings and just this embankment of fog. And she meets up with another girl who's going to be in the movie with her. And then she comes across her father's second wife, her stepmom, who's about her age, I guess. And her father, who shows up and says, I want you to patch up with your stepmom. And then he has to leave. And there's a serial killer that's killing beautiful women somehow. And there's some soldier who is looking for his lost daughter. All the sets are very sparse and everything. None of that plot is really resolved in any way. And there's like zero character development. It's like a bizarre, you might feel the vibe of it or something. And it's like, I think one of the most remarkable things about it is the lighting. Because people are standing around. A lot of characters don't like really even move. And sometimes you got people standing around with mannequins around them. Sometimes they're standing around with statues around them. Sometimes they're just standing around not talking. But the lighting it's like being in a Christmas store or something like that. And like there'll be red light coming from the left, and it'll give the character one look, and then a blue light from above that gives them a different look. And it's just all happening while they're just standing there listening. There's like a woman who's like a fortune teller or something. She's also a costume designer for this movie. You don't want to know what the movie's about, and it doesn't matter. The only normal character is the other actress that's working with her, and she's kind of like laughing at stuff, and everyone else is just like flatlining.
Right.
But it's just something compelling about it because it is just so unconventional. But I could see you falling asleep in it. I could see you thinking it's absurd and laughing all the way through it. I could see getting mad at it. But you just go in there with absolutely no expectation of anything conventional happening. And, you might like it. The killings from the serial killer, I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I do remember how that was resolved. But it's just so odd.
But you didn't go to sleep in it.
I did not go to sleep in it.
I
wanted
to. A lot of movies.
I was comfortable. Yeah, I was comfortable, and it had a great soundtrack too. I'll give it credit for that. It had great lighting and great soundtrack, but I don't know what else I saw with it. And I didn't go with anyone who could tell me what I missed or didn't understand.
Right.
So, there was some stranger woman who was near me, but I wasn't going to talk to her because I was trying not to laugh, and she kept looking over at me. I thought, oh, she'll probably get mad if I laugh, but this seems funny. So,
well, I mean, the movie that stands out for me that I've seen by him was The Neon Demon, and it's about the modeling world.
Yeah, well, this seems to pair up with that because
Okay.
her stepmom's beautiful, she's beautiful, the other actress is beautiful. I don't know what their movie was about. I don't remember there was a scene of costuming because that's where they met the fortune teller, who is accompanied by another woman who's like an interpretive dancer. So I'm serious. It's like I don't know what I saw. I just thought I would throw it out there. If you're the kind of person who's that adventurous, I saw it in the theater, but I'm sure it's gone. It didn't last more than a week here. So
The Neon Demon didn't last too long, but it was one of those things. It's like oh, this is a horror movie.
Yeah,
it
had a little horror element, but it wasn't really scary. I mean, they just watch one of the killings, she and the other actress, and the other actress is kind of like laughing. I don't know. I can't get into any of it at all. But that's it. Called Her Private Hell.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay. And Sophie Thatcher is awesome. She was awesome in Companion. So I have to feel like she didn't have a lot of character development either. Huh. It's like
sounds like a Fellini movie or something.
Yeah, it's definitely, except they're prettier people. Fellini,
there's no clown of sadness.
Yeah. No. But anyway, you can find us, How We Heard It, on social media all over the place. We got the little videos that we do of excerpts from our newest episodes, and we're on YouTube and X and Facebook and Reels and TikTok and Instagram. And you can also find our podcast now. Recently got added to YouTube. So if you don't use your usual platform like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can listen to us on YouTube as well. And if you have any feedback for us, if you have any topic ideas or any recommendations you want to share or anything like that, you can write us at howweheardit@gmail.com. Remember that.
And please do.
In keeping with our theme of memories.
We're lonely.
Yeah, we're lonely, except for last Friday night. So anyway, I gotta go. That movie it really impacted me. And the more I talk, the less sense I'm gonna make. So
Okay.
Bye.
You've been listening to How We Heard It with Chuck Campbell and Wayne Bledsoe, a podcast about music, movies, art, culture, whatever it is that's on their mind. How We Heard It was recorded at the Arbor Studio in Knoxville, Tennessee by me, John Baker. How We Heard It is a Cozy Planet production. If listening to this podcast has given you a burning sensation, then we recommend you sit in a hot tub until your symptoms fade away. If you'd like to reach out to Chuck or Wayne or even me, you can send an email to howweheardit@gmail.com. So thank you for listening, and come on back and we'll have another episode for you next week.